Let's begin with the reading of the Word of God. Luke 24 verses 50 to 53, New International Version. The Ascension of Jesus. 50. When he had led them out to the vicinity of Bethany, he lifted up his hands and blessed them. 51. While he was blessing them, he left them and was taken up into heaven. 52. Then they worshipped him and returned to Jerusalem with great joy. 53. And they stayed continually at the temple, praising God. In the closing passages of the Gospel according to Luke, we find a profound moment of transition and empowerment for the disciples of Jesus Christ. Luke 24 verses 50 to 53 encapsulates the pivotal event of Jesus' ascension into heaven, marking the conclusion of his earthly ministry and the beginning of a new era for his followers. This divine departure not only signifies the fulfillment of prophecy, but also serves as a catalyst for the disciples' mission to spread the gospel to the ends of the earth. Let us delve into the significance of each moment captured in these verses, exploring the blessings, worship, and steadfast devotion of those who bore witness to the ascension of the Son of God. 1. Jesus blesses his disciples. Bible verse, Luke 24 verse 50, NIV. When he had led them out to the vicinity of Bethany, he lifted up his hands and blessed them. Summary. Jesus leads his disciples to Bethany and blesses them before his ascension into heaven. 2. Jesus ascends to heaven. Bible verse, Luke 24:51a, NIV. While he was blessing them, he left them and was taken up into heaven. Summary. As Jesus blesses his disciples, he ascends into heaven, leaving them to carry on his teachings. 3 disciples worship Jesus. Bible verse, Luke 24 verse 52, NIV. Then they worshipped him and returned to Jerusalem with great joy. Summary. Overwhelmed with awe and joy, the disciples worshiped Jesus before returning to Jerusalem. 4. Constant praise in the temple. Bible verse, Luke 24 verse 53, NIV. And they stayed continually at the temple, praising God. 5. Reflection and celebration. Summary. Reflecting on Jesus' ascension, the disciples celebrate his reign in heaven and continue spreading his message. Let's dive into the book of Acts. Acts 1 verses 9 to 11, New International Version. 9. After he said this, he was taken up before their very eyes, and a cloud hid him from their sight. 10. They were looking intently up into the sky as he was going, when suddenly 2 men dressed in white stood beside them. 11. Men of Galilee, they said, why do you stand here looking into the sky? This same Jesus, who has been taken from you into heaven, will come back in the same way you have seen him go into heaven. Witnessing the Ascension. Acts 1 verses 9 to 11. In the book of Acts, we encounter a momentous event that marks the conclusion of Jesus Christ's earthly ministry and the beginning of a new chapter for his disciples. Acts 1 verses 9 to 11 recounts the awe-inspiring account of Jesus' ascension into heaven, witnessed by his closest followers. This passage not only captures the physical departure of Jesus from their midst, but also holds profound significance for the future of the Christian faith. Let us explore the rich narrative of the Ascension, delving into the heavenly spectacle, the angelic proclamation, and the disciples' response as they grapple with the departure of their beloved teacher and the promise of his eventual return. 1. The Ascension of Jesus. Bible verse, Acts 1 verse 9, NIV. After he said this, he was taken up before their very eyes, and a cloud hid him from their sight. Summary. Jesus ascends into heaven, visibly departing from the disciples' presence, leaving them in awe and wonder. 2. There were 2 men in white. Bible verse, Acts 1 verse 10, NIV. They were looking intently up into the sky as he was going, when suddenly 2 men dressed in white stood beside them. Summary. As the disciples watched Jesus ascend, 2 angelic figures appear, dressed in white, bringing a message of reassurance. 3. Words of encouragement. Bible verse, Acts 1:11 a.m., NIV. Men of Galilee, they said, why do you stand here looking into the sky? Summary. The angels addressed the bewildered disciples, prompting them to move forward and not dwell on the sight of Jesus' departure. 4. The promise of return. Bible verse, Acts 1:11b, NIV. This same Jesus, who has been taken from you into heaven, will come back in the same way you have seen him go into heaven. Summary. The angels assure the disciples that Jesus will return, instilling hope and anticipation for his second coming. 5. The departure and response. Summary. The disciples, having witnessed the ascension of Jesus and received the angel's message, depart with a renewed sense of purpose and expectation for the future. The primary differences between Luke 24 verses 50 to 53 and Acts 1 verses 9 to 11 lie in their specific details and emphasis. Location. Luke's account places the ascension in the vicinity of Bethany, while Acts specifies the Mount of Olives. Immediate response. Luke emphasizes the disciples' worship and joy, while Acts focuses on the interaction with the angels and the instruction to continue their mission. Details of the ascension. Luke describes Jesus blessing the disciples, while Acts emphasizes the ascension with a cloud and the disciples' continued gaze. Content of dialogue. Luke records Jesus' final words, while Acts includes dialogue between the disciples and the angels about Jesus' return. Tone and emphasis. Luke's account emphasizes the emotional response, while Acts highlights the supernatural elements and reassurance provided by the angels. These differences enrich our understanding of the event and its significance within the broader narrative of Jesus' ministry and the early Christian community.